Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. So for this video, I would like to do something that a lot of you guys have requested, which is go over my add-ons for Cataclysm Classic. Now, I think a lot of these add-ons are things that I've used in Modern WoW or even Classic Wrath, but a refresher I think is due. So, to make this easy, I think what I'm going to do is just go down the list of add-ons, and I will show off a couple things, I think in maybe like an arena video too, because that might be easier as well, because a lot of these things are arena or PvP add-ons, so we can do that. So starting off on the top, so Bagnon and Bagbrother, all this stuff are what put my bag in one bag. And let's see, Scrap is an add-on that allows you to interact with a vendor and just have the option to sell all your junk. That's kind of nice. DBM, Deadly Boss Mods, a lot of people are familiar with this. This is just kind of like what is telling me how to play the game when I do PvE. It's just basically giving you all like the little announcements of when attacks are coming and like timers and things like that. It's nice. Advanced Interface Options is an add-on that gives you some options that the game used to have but doesn't have anymore, like just like general stuff, like whether you want to show your title, whether you want to show your guild name, guild titles, things like that. Fade map moving. It's just a lot of different stuff that's kind of nice. You don't want to see LUA errors, just like looting things like combat, like custom lag tolerance, lets you mess with your floating combat text, all this kind of stuff that's kind of nice, right? Class colored friendly nameplates, which I think I already have on, but I'll turn that on anyway. I actually kind of know that for a fact that that's on, but we'll just leave it on anyway. But yeah, that's the basics of advanced interface options. It's kind of a nice one to have. In terms of my like auction house add-on, I use Auctionator. I don't really always need it, but it's kind of nice to be able to go to the auction house, click, you know, the selling tab, and just click things out of your inventory quickly. That's nice. Bartender is what I use for my action bars. Makes it pretty easy to like bind and like move things around. There's dominoes for that as well that I've used, but for this right now I'm just using Bartender. Bigdebuffs, so I think for this it'd be useful to show you guys actually in like an arena match. So Bigdebuffs is an add-on that will show like cooldowns that the enemies have popped on their side of their frame, so you can see like rapid fire there is popped for him. And then you can also have, like, if this guy pops wings, it'll pop up on the side there. It'll pop offensive, or show offensives or defensives, like his little divine protection there on the side too. Really useful to have. It also will show, like, when your healer is CC'd on their raid frame. So it shows a lot of useful information. Definitely recommend that you guys pick up Bigdebuffs if you're doing arena. Just makes you a little bit more, like, able to see when offensives and defensives on the enemies are popped. And there's a lot of things going on in this like arena thing, so I'm gonna continue to go down the line here of my add-ons, but there's probably a lot of things you guys have questions about this particular UI. But just to make sure we catch everything, I'm gonna go in order. Okay, so let's just go back to here. It's gonna be a little bit zoomed in, but that's okay. So that's Bigdebuffs on the side. Capping is just something that you'll have for add-ons. It just shows like, you know, how long things are gonna take to cap. In BGs, just gives you BG timers basically. Details is this thing on the side that shows you like my DPS meter and stuff. Super common add-on for Modern WoW and for Classic, but you know, pick up details if you want to have like a little damage meter. All kinds of details options. So Diminish is what is showing me like the DRs that my Paladin and myself are on, and enemies too if you want it that way. So you can see my Paladin here is on DR for stuns, from like the monkey stun, I guess, for incaps, like a freezing trap, and scatter, which is crazy that all these are on separate DR in Cata, but that's what shows the DRs. And I also have my own DRs showing, like if I, let's see, if I get stunned in the beginning of the game, you'll see it'll show that I'm on DR for, it says 26 seconds there. It's probably because it was the whole duration of the stun. So I trinketed or got dispelled, so then it immediately goes down to 20 seconds. So DR is usually 20 seconds. I think sometimes there's dynamic DR, but I don't mess with that. I just set it all to 20 seconds. So it'll show the DR that I'm on. This is useful for knowing like whether or not you are likely to be the target of the next sheep or the next kidney shot or whatever, you know. Or if you're like, okay, I'm on DR for these types of CCs, I can pop my offensive cooldowns here, and if they decide to peel me with a stun, it's going to be half, so it's a good time to pop offensive CDs, right? That sort of thing. So you can predict whether you're the target of CC or know if you're, you know, unlikely to be the target of CC, or if you are the target of CC, it's going to be shorter than usual, so it's a good time to go ham, right? That sort of thing. That's Diminish. Easy frames. Again, easy frames are what I use right here for my frames. I think it looks nice. It's kind of like the normal WoW UI, but I like that the health plate is a little bit more, like, it's a little bit wider, and you can also configure it. I think that now in Cata they actually have like the 125k is what will show, rather than the whole number, and it's like class colored as well. So I just like the way it looks. I use that a lot of times in Modern WoW, but I'm not using it in Modern WoW right now. I actually kind of like the Dragonflight stuff, but I may go back to easy frames even in Modern WoW at some point. We'll see. But I like that. Gathermate is something I used for, I mean, Professions is nice too. I've used it in the past for Professions, but I was mostly using it for Archaeology recently. Gladdy. Gladdy is the add-on that I use to track my arena enemies. So it tracks things like their trinkets. You can configure it to track their cooldowns. I'm not really paying much attention to this recently, but I think as I do more arenas and I pay more attention, it'll be more helpful. Also, one of the most helpful things is the enemy DR tracking, right? So I think Diminish can be configured to show DRs like near the player or near the target frame if you wanted, but I use this mostly to track DRs. So you can see the red is only on DR for silence, but I think in the opener, if I stun him with throwdown, then he'll be on DR for stuns and fear after those CCs are over. You can see it right there, which is cool. Yeah, I guess it will also show like when they have stuff pop, but I'm pretty sure this is from Bigdebuffs. It may be from Gladdy as well though, but there's multiple places where it's useful to track cooldowns. A little bit of redundancy is okay, but I don't necessarily want to see like he's popped the wall like 3 places like this, but I guess in that way it's kind of hard to miss, so all good. We use Leatrix maps, which I actually think just kind of changes the way your map looks. You can like configure it a little bit. Leatrix Plus does a couple different quality of life things. Minimal Archaeology is another one of those archaeology things. Move Anything is, I use that ultra wide monitor, so Move Anything allows me to kind of change the position of things so that I can drag it like, if normally it would like pop up over here, I can drag it over here. I can move various like frames and stuff that you can't normally move, so that it's easier just to see for my stream. However, if you guys like to be able to move those things around, you might enjoy that too. And I think Move Anything is one of the things that lets you do that. Blizzmove up here is something similar, but I had 2 of them because I was like, I forget which one I used, but I'm just using Move Anything right now. MSBT, mixed scrolling battle text and stuff, that's something I haven't found a version of this that works for Cata, but I really like this for like popping up with interrupted a particular spell or reflected a particular spell, and of course the get shit on. I like that for killing blows. I haven't figured out one that works for Classic, so if you guys have one, let me know. Nice damage is what makes my damage font look the way it does. So it's kind of like these big numbers instead of like the normal Classic stuff. Use this on Modern WoW and for Classic as well. Just looks kind of cool. I like it. That's nice damage. And if you guys need that exclamation mark nice damage in my Twitch stream chat, we'll link you a place to get it, because I don't think you can just get it off of Curse Forge, which is what I mostly use for my add-on. OmniBar. OmniBar is, again, showing sort of cooldowns that have been used by the enemies. You can either track it here on Gladdy, or you can track it here just in general. Like, it's good to know, you know, when Kidney Shot is coming up, so you can be ready to, you know, Blade Storm that. You can, you know, okay, they have Trap coming up soon, so I need to be playing around that. Or, okay, they don't have Bubble for another, you know, 10 seconds or whatever, you know. We can probably kill him before that sort of thing. But yeah, this is not tracking properly, because I don't think he's even used Bubble at all. I'm not sure what this is talking about. Now it has. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it was on Forbearance or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that it wasn't tracking something right, but regardless, it's kind of useful to be able to track cooldowns, have a little place for them to pop up. It's always nice to have. I think OmniBar is another one of those like add-ons that a lot of arena players play. And if you are a caster, you can track kicks with this. I turn off all the kicks because I don't care. You know, that's not my problem. OmniCD, that's the add-on tracking all of my teammates' cooldowns over here. Again, it's kind of useful to know. It's like, okay, is my paladin okay? Does he have bubble? Does he have trinket? And like, am I going to need to be the one using cooldowns on this go, or is he pretty much safe? And I can kind of keep pressuring or whatever. Just good to know. Of course, in solo shuffle on Modern WoW, it's like you have an arena add-on like that to be like, oh my gosh, we died, we had bubble. This guy's a noob, you know? So you can just like, you know, rage at your teammates, I guess. But a lot of times it's just useful to know like what kind of cooldowns you have available to, you know, to your team to make sure that you guys have everything that you need to make the right plays. We have Quartz, which is the cast bar add-on. You're not really seeing a lot of casting in this particular game, but maybe if we move on to a non-triple DPS, I fought those guys a lot, what the heck? Yeah, you're gonna be able to see like casts from a mage here. See those little frostbolt cast right there. It'll also show my own casts. You can configure it to show your teammates, I guess. maybe, but I mean, if I wasn't a noob and actually set a focus, then it would also be showing my focus bar. But yeah, I just like the way the that Quartz cast bars look. I think it looks cool. Questie is an add-on that puts little icons on the map for like kill quests or pickup quests. I like that, especially paired up with Zygor, my sponsor. Makes questing a lot less painful. Safequeue just removes the option to leave the queue, I believe. Sinstats, I really only got this just so that like this menu just pops up on its own. It does other stuff, like you can have like a little overlay that pops up with other stats, but I just didn't like having to click expand every single time I opened my character sheet to see the stats. So I just found an add-on that just made that something that would happen automatically. And Sinstats is the one for that for me. Speedy Autoloot, I really don't even know what this does. I think I saw it on Curse and I just clicked it because I just want to loot faster, I guess. TellMeWhen, I don't actually use TellMeWhen very much, but I think that it is a dependent add-on on a Weakauras that I use, so I just have that. Threat plates, that's a big one. That's what everybody likes to see, which is my plates above their head. Now, I use this for Modern WoW and for Classic, and what's funny is that you can type !plates on my Twitch chat again, and you'll get a video, and we'll probably we'll put the export link in this video too for you. And it will tell you that it's out of date or that it's incompatible or something. Just don't listen to its lies. Load it, and it works fine. So just keep that in mind. That's my plates. People love those, and I'm glad that you do. I'm happy to hook them up for you for free. But I will say, if you guys love the add-ons, if you love the plates, if you love the content, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch, and if you absolutely love it and want to show some love, feel free to subscribe over on Twitch or become a member on YouTube. That's amazing. Really appreciate that. TomTom is a little arrow that points me in the direction of archaeology dig sites. Weakauras does everything in the universe. You can configure Weakauras to do all kinds of crazy stuff. If something is on my screen and you're like, what is that? How do you do that? Why is there meowing going on? It's probably a Weakauras, right? So things like the trinket announcements from my teammates and from the enemy team and the showing their globals on the side of their screen, all that kind of stuff, those are Weakauras, right? So like, the big announcements of cooldowns being popped, even the CC announcement. I think you can get a CC thing called like lose control. It does something very similar. But yeah, the globals on the side, those are all Weakauras. See, there's my cast bar there with the Quartz. Yeah, me being CC'd as a Weakauras. Icy Veins being announced as a Weakauras. So all that kind of stuff. And I may be able to provide some of these Weakauras to you, but I kid you not, most of the Weakauras that I have are literally me just having an idea of something and Googling it to see if it's there. So like, enemy GCD tracker Weakauras is on Google. Like, healer in CC announcement is on Google. However, the healer in CC Weakauras does not track all the CC that's in Cata Classic very effectively, so keep that in mind. It doesn't really seem to do everything that I want it to do, but Weakauras does like everything in the game, and especially if you learn how to write your own Weakauras, you can do some really cool stuff. And I think I need to configure some of my own Weakauras anyway. I'm not a Weakauras expert, but like there's some very basic stuff, like just making a battle shout icon over my like character just to make sure I always have battle shout on, things like that. Very easy to do. Tracking your procs, like tracking your stacks of like your Lambs of the Slaughter buff would be kind of nice to have near my character, so could make a Weakauras for that. Those are really, really simple. Things like tracking enemy teams cooldowns popped and stuff like that, I don't know about that as much, but it's easy enough to just have that in a Weakauras that you get from the internet, right? Pretty easy stuff. But yeah, Weakauras do everything. If you don't have Weakauras, then you might want to get Weakauras and start learning how to use them and start downloading some useful ones. And then of course we have Zygor. That is the add-on that I use to do all of my questing. It's carrying me. It helped me out in Archaeology. It looks like this. You can configure it so when I go to Deep Home and I need to go finish up my Deep Home questing so I can get Therazane rep, I'm going to be using the Zygor guide. Oldham, it's useful for like leveling obviously, but it's also useful for just like gathering up all that reputation. And they have guides for like all kinds of stuff. They have guides for professions, they have guides for dungeons, they have daily guides, they have event guides, all achievement guides, they have just everything. So super useful stuff. Very, very grateful to be sponsored by Zygor. Cannot recommend them enough. And if you do want to give it a try for your leveling or professions or achievements or reputation stuff, gold making even, use code Bajheera, get yourself a discount. Link will be in the description for that as well. But I think that about runs through my add-ons that I'm using for Classic Cata. If there are things that I can import to you, like my profiles and stuff, not everything lets you export the profile, but I think a couple things do. Maybe I can look into doing that for you. But I assure you that none of these, like, I'm not an add-on expert. Like, I dink around with my add-ons quite a bit, but I'm not like an add-on genius, Weakora whiz kind of guy. I just get in there and just dink around with it a little bit, and usually I can configure things to look the way that I want to look. And I actually think that add-ons are pretty fun to mess around with. Be able to control the information that you're curious about through Weakauras or through messing with your OmniBar or with your Bigdebuffs or threat plates, things like that. All that's pretty fun. So don't be intimidated by going in there, messing with the settings, and making things look the way that you want them to look. But where I can export some things, I will for you, okay? And feel free to always just like come swing by the stream if there's anything that you're looking for in particular, because I probably more likely than not can like link you a Weakora, just like while I'm playing, you know, between games. I can just like, hey, can you give me that GCD Weakora? Like, yeah, I got you, bro. Just like pop in over here and just like copy it for you real quick and be able to drop it in my Twitch chat or something like that if we don't have it in there already. All right, that'll be pretty easy. And again, hopefully this helps you guys out, helps you develop a UI that you guys think looks cool, and I'm glad that you guys like my UI. I'll keep messing around with my stuff too, and we'll keep you posted as time goes on. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Those are my add-ons. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.